Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is a brand new 2022 Lexus RX350, and today I'm going to review it for you guys. I don't know if you've noticed this, but it seems like Lexus has cornered the market on holiday-themed commercials. Like, it doesn't matter what holiday it is, I feel like I'm always seeing a Lexus commercial.
This holiday, give the gift of Lexus. Stop into your local Lexus dealer for our Christmas specials. Buy a Lexus for Easter. Stop into your local Lexus dealer for our Easter specials. Visit your local Lexus dealer for our Talk Like a Pirate Day specials.
Yarg!
They do not pay me nearly enough money for this.
See, I told you, it's like literally every holiday.
Before we begin, I'd like to thank Lexus of Lehigh Valley for providing this vehicle for me to review. If you're in the market for any Lexus model, I'll leave a link to their website in the description below.
No, the RX and I did not color coordinate on purpose. It kind of just happened, like the best things always do. Anyway, starting here with the front end, I'm beginning to understand where the new Tundra got its idea for the gigantic grille. But between the two of them, I think this RX pulls it off a little bit better. It's a little bit sleeker and more aggressive on this particular SUV than on that truck. Moving into the grille here, you'll have your center Lexus badge. That doubles as a sensor for the Safety Sense technology that is built in, so that's a really clever implementation there. And then moving to the headlights here, you'll have a suite of full LEDs, so LED headlights, turn signals, and this really cool, like Nike swoosh LED daytime running light. Moving a little further down, you'll have parking sensors and LED fog lights. Moving underneath the hood in the RX350, this is powered by Toyota's 3.5-liter Atkinson Cycle V6, making 295 horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque. And that is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. A fun fact, while I was doing some research on this, I found out that this particular engine actually debuted in the 2015 RX350 and was later adapted to the current generation of the Toyota Tacoma. So this Lexus has the same engine as my Toyota Tacoma. Though curiously, this outputs 295 horsepower and my truck only outputs 278. Moving to the profile of the RX350, starting here with the wheels and tires, you're going to get 235 65R tires around these really nice 18-inch wheels. And then if we move up here to the mirror caps, they are power operated. So when you hit unlock, they are going to fold out automatically. Love that luxury feature, very useful, especially in cities. And then you'll have this really nice chrome strip that goes along here and connects into a turn signal indicator, and it is also body color at the top portion. And then moving to the mirror itself, this is of course power operated and you do get blind spot monitoring. As we move further down the profile, a fun fact that I learned was the RX line of SUVs is actually the best-selling luxury SUV in the segment for quite a few years now, and it continues to go strong. I think you're especially going to see that when we move to the interior, but right now we're going to look at the back. Lexus has offered a multitude of ways for you to open the rear liftgate here. So first off, you can swipe your foot underneath here, and that is going to raise, and you can also lower the liftgate from that method. Stepping over here to the actual liftgate itself, there is a button to lower it from here. You can also lock it. So we're gonna hit lower on there, and then there's this little rubber, I don't know if you can see it, little rubber pad. It's not an actual grab handle underneath. That also raises and lowers the liftgate. And then, if that wasn't enough, those three methods weren't enough already, you can also raise and lower from the key fob. I've raised and lowered it a lot, so I don't think you need another demonstration, but it is able to be done from the key fob as well. So that's really cool. 4 different ways that you can open up the rear liftgate. Moving back here, underneath this Lexus mat, you do get your spare tire and some extra storage, which is very nice. This includes a little Lexus first aid kit. That's cool. And then you do have manual pulls right here to lower your second row seats if you need a more flush load floor to put a TV in there or something like that. So that's really convenient. And then you do have this divider that sits in here that goes along this track and can click into place if you want to kind of hide your rear cargo to make it not visible through the rear window. And then if you want, you can just pull that up and it clicks back into place there. So that's really nice. Let's fully move into the interior. Moving to the interior of the RX350, this is incredibly plush in here. You'll have soft touch material up here on the door panel. It's really nice wood texture and leather that extends all the way down here to this armrest. And then down here, you'll have your mirror controls. You'll have a button to retract the mirrors automatically if you want from the inside. And then you'll have your standard mirror controls, lock, unlock. Down here, you'll have your lighting, your rear lift gate. Again, you can raise and lower it from here too. And then you'll have your heated steering wheel button. I'm gonna turn that on because I would not mind that right now. It's pretty cold outside. It is leather on the steering wheel. Very, very comfortable, very plush. And then you'll have your buttons for your volume, your Bluetooth, your calling and hang up, and then your lane departure warning and your front sensor for the radar guided cruise control. And then you do have the controls for the small center screen that this has. It gives you the basic readouts, you know, tire pressure, the music, and then your different safety sense technology features. It will tell you up in this gauge cluster. So everything that you basically need, which is really good. And then you have your cruise control button down here. And then you do have paddle shifters on this. Nice little paddle shifters. I really like that. I think that's cool. And then if we move over here to the screen, this is a touch screen, but there is also another functionality to it, which we will get to in a minute when we move a little bit further down. It is pretty responsive, pretty quick. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capabilities, and it is a very large screen, which is nice, especially when you pull up the navigation here. That is a really, really good quality image, which I like. There's a lot of different things that you can pull up on here, apps, projection, audio, stuff like that. Your climate controls can also be pulled up on here too. If we move a little bit lower, you have this nicely implemented Lexus clock, and then you do have an actual DVD player in here, or CD player, I guess. Not a DVD player, but still crazy that they still have a CD player implemented into this. I haven't reviewed a vehicle in a while that has one of those, so it's actually kind of a nice commodity to see in this. And then you do have your climate controls and temperature things down here. Now, for example, when you hit this button to direct the air, that's actually going to appear on the screen. So there's not like a little readout down here. Some people may find that annoying. I think it's fine, it works, but just to point that out, that there isn't a smaller screen down here. You have to basically go through the infotainment system to see where your air is being distributed from. Further down there, you'll have USBs and a 12-volt outlet. Whoop, getting a little bright there. And then there is also a wireless charger. And then you're going to have your electronic parking brake and your heated and cooled seats. You can set those to automatically come on, which is really nice. Love that. A lot of automation in this. You know, in addition to the power mirrors, when you get in, it's going to adjust to your previous memory seat settings because this is power seats. So that's really, really convenient. You'll get a pretty standard shifter right here. Nothing too much to write home about. It is leather wrapped and it works. It's convenient. I would prefer this to a dial or buttons, you know, that I just don't really like those. I like the traditional shifter. And then moving up here, you have a pretty standard backup camera. There is an available 360-degree view backup camera with a little sharper quality. This one's okay. It's definitely not the worst that I've seen. It's kind of a middle grade one. And then when you turn the wheel, you will also have the guiding lines that turn with you. And then of course you have rear parking sensors and front parking sensors to help guide you with that. That brings us to the mouse pad. I told you there was a second way to control this screen from up here, and that is the mouse pad. So basically, Lexus thinks that it is safer to have your eyes on the road, which it is, of course, but implementing that, they're like, well, let's put a mouse pad right here, which controls the screen. Now, in previous models, there was no touchscreen option at all, and you needed to use this mouse pad. But later iterations like this current one are like, well, you know what, we'll implement the touchscreen functionality if you'd like it. But for the people that like the mouse pad, as you can see, I'm controlling this, and you just click on it, you can have that as well. I will say, messing around with it, it's kind of a cool feature. I like it. I just don't know if it fits with this interior. Continuing on down here, you'll have a drive mode selector for your eco, your sport, and your normal. You'll also have a center locker and traction control off. And then this is all also finely finished with this really nice leather. And then you have this wood grain texture, a phone holder right here, and 2 cup holders. And then if we open up the center storage, you're gonna have 2 USBs, an auxiliary jack, and a 12-volt right there, and some nice storage with this little cubby you can take out. And these seats are incredibly comfortable in here. Very plush, very nice lumbar support and bolstering. I'd expect nothing less. This really lends to me understanding why this is the best-selling luxury SUV. It's just amazing. I'm really impressed with this interior. You know, despite it not having all of the new technology features, like this doesn't need to be an entire screen. I know that eventually it will be. All cars are going to start doing that, but really this tiny center screen gives you everything you need, and this large screen is very convenient and it works really well. You know, it's perfect. I think Lexus really knows their market, and they've done a good job with that. Moving up here to the mirror, a pretty standard mirror, auto dimming, that's really nice. And then you'll have LED dome lights right there. You just touch, which is like cool. It's like a sensor. There's no like actual click in, so that's really nice. And then you have the controls for your massive panoramic moonroof in here. Moving into the back seats, you're gonna get tons of legroom back here and a multitude of headroom. I'm 5'9", and I probably have 3 or 4 inches, which is really nice. Very comfortable back here, and you get a great view of the panoramic moonroof. You also have some other nice amenities like the dual climate vents back here and 2 USBs. And the door is trimmed in just as fine materials as up front, which is always really nice to see. A lot of manufacturers tend to skimp on the back doors. Lexus has not. Still really high quality back here. And then you also do have the ability to fold this down right here, and you have some pretty cool cup holders that fold out like that. I really like that design, and this armrest is also very comfortable. Alrighty, driving the RX350. This thing is very smooth, very nice acceleration if we open it up a little bit, and it's got pretty good cornering. I understand why people like these. I mean, in addition to the Toyota engineering and the incredible reliability that I imagine this is gonna have long term, you also have just such a comfortable interior, and the ride is so smooth. Something I don't think I touched on in super detail in the interior section is just how high quality everything is and how built. Like, it's very sturdy and it doesn't feel chintzy. I've been in a lot of other luxury cars recently that feel kind of cheap and chintzy, and I'm like, wow, this is like a $60,000 or $70,000 luxury car, and this is brand new, and I can like shake the like armrest, like it's shaking. And not so on Lexus. They really know what they're doing when it comes to interior build quality and finish. And that's what I have to commend them on, and Toyota on. Just in spades, they know how to make a great product that people are gonna like. Are they always, because I know this is gonna come in the comment section, people are gonna be like, well, there's no full gauge cluster screen. It's very behind the times. Yeah, but do you need that? Like I said before, you know, it gets the job done, and Lexus really knows their clientele, and they'll upgrade that when they feel the need to upgrade that. But I just don't really feel like it's necessary. I think this is a great SUV that kind of just mixes the best of both worlds. Yeah, do I love the clicking thing, the little mouse pad? Not really. I just, as I said, don't really think that fits. But overall, though, I think that this is a great SUV. that is going to conclude my review of this Lexus RX350. I really hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, if you could click like on the video and subscribe, that would really help my channel out quite a bit. And lastly, I am a Christian. So if you guys have any prayer requests, you can leave those in the comment section below. And I like to close on a weekly Bible verse or scriptural passage. This week, I'd like to read Psalm 1 for you guys. Now, little background, the author of both Psalms 1 and 2 is unknown, though it's theorized to have been King David. So starting here with verse 1. Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. Not so the wicked. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to destruction. All right, guys, that's going to conclude the video. See you next time.